to you, church family. It's really good that as a family we can join in for our family week here on People's Cathedral. And I just want to welcome each and every single one of you to our final night of So You Want to Buy or Build a House here at the church. So we're just going to start with a word of prayer, even as we just start to get ready in our session tonight. So Heavenly Father, we just thank you, we worship you, we praise you, we glorify your name. Lord, we thank you for each and every single family unit that you have given to us. And even as we would discuss the construction aspect, dear Lord, of So You Want to Buy or Build a House, I pray that, dear Lord, you will continue to bring families together. You will continue, dear Lord, to show them, dear Lord, your will and your way for each and every single one of them as they continue to bond together, even in this season. We ask that, dear Lord, you will take full control of this session. You will guide us. You will cause those persons that, dear Lord, will have those questions that, dear Lord, will post them so that, dear Lord, will get the answers that they would need in this season to move forward as a family, to have that home that they would need, dear Lord. We give you thanks, we give you praise in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
Again, just want to welcome you to Family Week. And this is our final night for our So You Want to Buy or Build a House. And tonight we have two very special guests with us, Richard Wood and Jefferson Ward. And I'm just going to let them introduce themselves. And it doesn't match the order.
Okay, Richard Wood. Richard Wood, I'm supervisor in a construction company. And I work on building houses, roads, every aspect of construction I work in. This is 44 years now into construction.
Okay.
Primarily that.
All right, Jefferson.
Hi, good night, church. My name is Jefferson Ward. I own a company called JSW Building Construction. And I was in building for construction for a very long time. Was about going on about 20 years or so. So yes, from that standpoint, yes, I know that I am versed in what I do. Yes, I love what I do, you know. So thank you again, church, for having me.
Okay. Thank you all very much for agreeing to be on tonight. And as it is Family Week, I have a question. You know, as families get together, you know, sometimes you don't, is that you're renting or you have someplace else, but you want to have that final home. What exactly should a family look for, especially when they're going into having that construction phase? What is the phases or what is the steps that they need in the construction steps?
Okay, okay, I will take that question. The first thing that a client should be able to do, or someone that want to build a house. The first thing, they should know what they want. That's the first thing. Then you go to the bank, check and see how much, what you qualify for if you're going to build it from a mortgage. If you basically going to build out the pocket, you should have some kind of idea as well. With that basically speed your process. So from that standpoint, then after all of that, you know, you will go to the draftman. You will sit down with him, tell him what you basically want, you know, give him an idea what budget you're working with, right? After that, now he will you will get the drawings. He done do the drawing, he send it to town planning, right? Make sure the drawings is actually good with town planning and stuff. So after that, now what you would do is then get a builder, get a contractor, you know, and the contractor, you show the contractor the plan, you sit down with him, you show you go and visit the site, you know, then everything, you will get a quotation from him to show, well, what money they're looking at. Of course, if you go into the bank, you have to carry that information to the bank as well, but the bank will also give you a QS, because it will happen, the bank that have a certain amount of QS, quantitative years, that what will happen is that they will basically give you somebody to have a quote from as well. So once now the contractor and the QS quotes come in as close as possible, then we'll then tell you, well, yeah, everything is okay, and you go from there.
I can interject there, Jeff. Another thing there with building houses, primarily some family members want a big structure. Another set don't want a big structure. So in my years of building, I realized that some people build get a drawing, but they don't understand the drawing and go and build a house. And I any day when the house don't frame up, the first is come, I didn't know this house so big. You see, but that's why that's another thing I got explain to a client what's I just say looking at what's all dimension the house you're looking at.
Right, so
because some people go knowing, you know what, you got a family say about 3 people. It doesn't make sense the square footage of your house. You know, you got to break that down that you don't want much and that sort of capacity to go to start a wasteful house. Because we got a lot of people in Barbados building houses, or you can build a family house. But at the end of the day, the family house is too big. You know? So you got to maximize on, you know, looking forward instead of building that big exorbitant house, yeah? But if you got 3 people in your family, just contract for 4 people. If you got a family room or whatever, instead of going to building this a big elaborate house. Because I find a lot of people in Barbados do it, they're going away from that now, building that big exorbitant house now.
Right. Yeah. Let me interject again, Rich. From I guess I understand that, but I think that when a client go to a draftman, right? When the draft and show the draftman whether this is what they want or whatever, that is the stairs where they should actually do all of that, all that logistics, right? Because at
understanding what the plan is and what is on the plan and so on, so that they know what they're getting themselves into and what they part of the finished product.
Right, and the next thing that I think that is really good now that it happened a lot now, and I realized that even with my draftman, he do a lot of 3D drawings that so the client now can see actually what the house look like before they actually put it on the ground. So if it is that you got a wall in a place where that you don't like it anymore, you can study well that you could change out that there, you know, make this room a little bigger, or you know, put the closet I want the closet in this area, or the kitchen a little bigger, or whatever you can maybe, or just lick down a wall or build back one. So that is make it even more easier now for a lot of homeowners, because a lot of people can't understand drawings just with the bare lines. They've got a structure coming up now that give them a better idea of what the house would basically look like.
So seeing it visually actually helps with persons, so that by the time they come to the construction phase, they know exactly what it's going to look like, and not exactly from the plan and the elevations, but actual real 3D that they can see.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay,
correct.
Because the plan sometimes, some people don't understand the plan, but I got some clients understand the plan. So they may get me, as I said, we get misled by the plan. Because you know, just the lines, dimension from this corner to this corner is 8 feet, from this corner, then you left the window. So it's you got to go through that with client. But this one do, and I expect this house to be a little bigger than you expect. So as you need 3D now, as Jeff said, it will automatically show you where your house can look like. So I say no, the computer do a lot of work for people now.
Yeah.
Because computer just a frame something, you put it there, you bring the client, but the house can look like when it's done. There's a foundation, there's a floors, and that's how your block work can look from here. You just do a little one course of block work for the computer, and then well, I like that wall. I just say take that wall with drawings, and go clear from there.
Yeah.
And another thing the house do is I find if you plan to build a house, first thing I think is budgeting too. Some people try to go over it's just the house. They don't try to make it simple for yourself. As you say, well, I got $100 to spend. Let me try to work in with that budget. You want to look at where Tom got down the road. No, it's happened. It's happened. I did this feel long.
Yeah.
It's happened. Oh, why can't I get my how she do? How so the others do? No, there's your budget. Try to work with your budget. Don't try to watch down the road one. And then you say you $100,000, then you end up you nearly up in $200,000. And then you wonder how your house get there. Yes, you know,
Okay.
Natisha, yes, you know, a lot of women that's come and change the scope of where building a house. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I think we know that a lot of changes happen, but then again, especially if it's the wife, a happy wife is a happy home. So sometimes it's good that you have that sit down, as y'all did say, you have that sit down in the design phase, so that by the time you get to the construction phase, everybody's okay, the children are okay, they're settled. Even if you don't have the children as yet, but you have in mind, I want to have so much amount of children. You know what amount of rooms, as you did say, you need to have in that house. Where you want it located.
Yeah.
Few places. So as we continue, I just have another question that would have come to mind even from this discussion. The rooms and so on, the construction team, can you tell me about, the persons that would actually make up your construction team?
Excuse me a minute.
That's for both of you, in your various spheres. That's what would have been doing in houses and so on, the other one, roads and so on. What does your construction teams look like? Briefly.
Natasha. Excuse me a minute, please.
Yes.
Oh, you want me to go first?
Excuse me a minute.
Go ahead, Jefferson.
Right. My construction team will be thing by you have carpenters, you have masons, you basically got laborers, when it comes to kitchen, they got joiners. Yes, they got most masons may able to do steel bender work, a bit of steel bender work, and you want somebody that if you the mason, you could do steel bender work, and you want to make sure that person could do it well. But or you want a professional steel bender to actually do steel bending, because yes, you may come across a job that entails a lot of beams and columns, and when you got a structure that got a lot of load bearing, a load bearing structure, you have to got steel and certain size and a dimension and what's not. So you basically got to know, and steel work is very important, right? In that standpoint. So yes, you got electricians and plumbers, so yeah, the full works. You will have to got the guys to basically carry out the scope of works and to do it professionally.
So I know that we had a conversation previously, and you were talking about the persons with the roofs and so on. That there's different type of men that for the roof, because sometimes you only need one man to build a roof, or you just need two to build a roof. What's really the difference between the teams that will help make up those men are specialists in roofs?
All right,
especially for family homes.
Well, you done a family home. And it's basically general for roofs, different if you're doing a concrete roof, right? But if you're gonna just do a normal roof, you have T111s or any sort of that roof with the corrugated sheets on the top. You will have the carpenter to set up the structure, from the rafters, you do your rafters, your hips and everything, and you point your T111s. Right. Then this is what I personally do. Yes, you have carpenter that will put on the same carpenter that put up that structure could put on the sheets, right? But you have guys that is qualified and versed in it. So for me, I did normally get that team to actually come and put on the sheets, right? Because I believe that this is how you look at it. When you build a home, some people can only build one home, and you need to do it to the best of your ability, right? And quality is always first.
Yes.
Right? Quality is first. So then people are just going to get somebody because that they may see that, yeah, I could get you cheaper there, but son, you got to look at You gotta look at what the person actually giving you, right? Then to make a conscious decision on if you going to just go along with somebody that can do it cheaper, or guess somebody may just get a couple of extra dollars or whatever, and just give you the best that you will ever want, right? If you're doing a concrete roof, right? I find that is something that happened in the Barbados a lot now, and even with the hurricane that passed the other day, I find that a lot of people now really going in that direction as well, right? And yes, you will still have a carpenter and trying to do all the boxing and the boxing and the decking and everything for that. And then you will call it, you still gotta get a mason now to cast the concrete on top of there, make sure that the concrete is of strength, right? The concrete is proper concrete and everything, because you don't want the cracks, because whenever that concrete roof done, to dig that back down, that's a whole different cost altogether. That is problem. So it's better to do it with the first time, and they don't have to worry about the second.
Better to get the right personnel one time rather than I have to do it more than once, and maybe even have to delete on your whole house and start over.
Correct.
That's your family finances that gone down. Possibility, but even be your wedding gift money.
Yep.
So some terms that I would have realized that you would have used tonight so far, and to help the audience, to understand these terms and so on, you would have used QS, into what are the steps you need before you even get to the construction phase. You would have used QS. So what is the QS, and what's the difference between the other person that would have brought the information for them as well? That you would have gotten for
the QS is actually quantity severe.
Yeah.
Quantity severe, right? Every bank, every lending institution will actually work with a QS, right? A quantity severe. That give you what the quantity severe do is he quantify the whole entire house from the nails back down to the concrete, right? So then he gives the bank an idea of what this house is actually going to cost, and that's real cost, right? The contractor is basically the person that he would give a quote in terms of what he can build the house for, right? And when the contractor give the client the information, they have to take the two to the bank, because they have to basically line up. Right? Have to line up. If you go over, if it is that you go over, maybe let me say 10,000 or whatever, you know that, hey, that may too much, right? If you go too less under, the bank is gonna query that, because you dealing with true costs.
Okay. Right. So another term that you would have used recently, even that you would have been explaining, the different workmen, especially for the roof, would have been the T111s. And I know you would have said before that with the corrugated roofs and so on. Could you explain exactly what are the T111s?
The T111 is a treated, like a treated plywood that have grooves in it, right? You will find most people will put like if they want the wood showing in the roof, right, inside the house, they use the T111, because that is more cheaper than if you're doing the groove and tongue, which is the single wood, right?
1x4.
Right, the 1x4, the 1x6.
1x4, 1x6.
Right. So it's a cheaper material way, and not only that, it basically done a little faster.
Okay.
Right. But even let me go a little further. You can have gypsum board, or some people will relate to it as sheetrock, right?
Okay.
Right, you can use that and also in the ceiling, but you gotta set up a different structure for that there now. Right, you gotta actually put up the ceiling structure and then you screw that on it. So you come in, right, so when you come in the house now, you basically see the flat sheet in the roof where people just slick it and just cut the screws and the joints or whatnot and paint it or chalk plaster it. It looked very nice. You know, that is a little lower cost than the T111. So a lot of people that were dealing with a certain budget could actually go for that look. Yes, if you got the right person, you know, to give that finish, it looked very, very nice. Right? Right. It looked very nice.
Right. Thank you. Richard, welcome back. And we want to ask you to turn back on your camera to continue for our questions.
Yeah.
And some questions that would have come in from our chat, thank you very much, would have been Peter Farnham, our brother Peter Farnham. He would have asked, you know, when you're building a house, when you're planning to build a house, how do you take in?
Right, take your time, man.
How do you take into account that in just a few short moments, you know, your children will leave you as an empty nesters and a much bigger house than you need? Because, you know, so you know, technically you build for the family, but in a couple of years, if they're being realistic, in less than, if they're newborns, in 20 years, they're gone to study, and you know, you're in a house. Sometimes less than 20 years, you're in a house by yourself. You would have built a family home and it's only two of you, maybe even one days and it's only you.
That's when the first
what
time
should you take into account?
That's when the first mentioned the size of the house. Because you see, I just say 2 years ago, so you got to keep that in mind. You keep that in mind because I just said just now, you don't want to go and build a bigger elaborate house and then I just say the kids gone and you're stuck with a big elaborate house. So if you got 3 children, you build the house to suit them 3 children and plus your wife. You want to try to get this big house here, up here, there, so that in any day, if you feel that I can move out my house, to sell the house and get a smaller house, because actually, I find some people in Barbados doing that now yet. They build a big house for them, the family, the children, they say go and study overseas, or mommy, daddy, and came back to Barbados. So automatically sell the house, go and build a smaller house. I find out there are a lot of people doing that right now in Barbados.
So basically what you're saying is that you find that your person will build it to suit, but then by the time that they know they're becoming empty nesters, it will be good to start planning to not say I either sell or maybe a good option might even rent, because there's a possibility the children might come back home, you rent out the house, and then but you also with the money that you get from the sale or from the rent, get something smaller for you.
Yes, exactly.
So it seems like we're going back to this summer house and this winter house pattern.
No. You see, I just say the thing is that he asked a question, so that's the option. But you want 2 houses. So I'm saying, you know, you're trying to get 18 to go in college, then we coming back. So where you can keep a house? No, use 2 people in a house, and you got 6-bedroom house. If it's with me, the cleaning process.
What other options would y'all suggest?
You come up with it just now. You know, the children moving out, rent it out, or you sell the house and get a smaller one.
Okay, good. Yes, please. Yes, Jefferson, you were saying something?
They say, man, you're able to that you can rent it out. So I find that people put it the house, so they put it as collateral and just use that for that purpose, and then may build something else or buy another property or whatever, you know, because yes, I find a lot of times now that a lot of people actually gravitate to smaller houses where the square footage is a little less, because I think that you know, you come out and you find that your mother and your father may build a house and then you leave and you go on to marry and have your family, you know, then they would have empty house. So now that you aren't going back. So then now you take it, you say, well, look, this is what happened to mommy and daddy. So let us sit down and you and your husband now sit down and plan and think about the future, right? Not just building the house there, not for that thing, but just actually think about down the road, right? So so that's the thing about you gotta sit down and know what you want to do now, but still know what you want to do 20 years down the road. Right? Because sometimes people just plan, but they don't think about that aspect. And then that's when you find a lot of yes, you got people in Barbados right now living in 6-bedroom houses, and sometimes they might not be paying mortgage or whatever, even the paying mortgage, because you still gotta pay. If you borrow the money from the bank, you still gotta pay it back. So you gotta put all these things into perspective, because if you gotta pay back a mortgage in 20 years, but only body know in the house now is you and the husband and the children gone, because you would have built a bill for a bedroom house or 6-bedroom house for you. But now when they are gone, you gotta run back to the bank and still a lot. We can't afford the payment how we would like to extend the time and get just to bring down the payment plan for you, the mortgage time for you, the money for you, right? That might not even work, because truthfully, everybody don't want to be paying a mortgage for 30 and 40 years. That's when you should be enjoying, beginning to enjoy your house and everything now. So you
Exactly.
got to put that and got to put mobility in perspective, and not just see Miss Jones down the road with a big one. You want to compete, and then that's the problem, right? Do what you know you got to do to try and because how you live your lifestyle might not be Miss Jones one, and you got to put everything into a perspective.
Okay. And as we're on this issue of money, because as we see, as we build and we have that big house, it comes right back down to the same money as we would have dealt with last week with the legal process. We have a partner, he came back and he basically has a $60,000 house, and because of his paying back the bank, he ended up paying $160,000. So there was extra $100,000 in interest, and he was asking, what he could have done. So like even in our planning for the construction aspect of it, because most of the time the cost is ready to build the house, the actual construction. What would be a good thing that they can do, especially when in that process, to cut down on the costs? Because as we're dealing, and I might throw in a suggestion or two, even in the design of the house, you might build it, especially if you have a teenager child, build the house in such a way that, the rooms are in a particular location that, it can always be sectioned off to create another section, so that as your child gets a certain age, even if they never go overseas, but they become a young, they have their own space, and they don't exactly be in your space, so that by the time they say, well, this is technically mine. I have my own kitchenette, I have my own space, everything, all the different rooms that they would need, that would be sectioned off. But what suggestions, as the constructors and from your expertise, would you also suggest that you would have seen over the years that would have been very effective in building homes, so that even as to cut down on what the bank would charge you, and then even afterwards, where you end up having a lot of money on your hand that basically gone to waste?
I don't see money has to be as money, but I mean, if you think that you could basically so the same money now you basically get from the bank or whatever, right? Because you may be able to go back to the contract and say, well, listen, the outside of the house have to remain the same way on the drawing, right? As town planning give you, but the inside of the house you can change, right? You could change.
Okay.
So if it is that you say, well, you know what, I can build this house with the intention of, you know what, man, I can rent out a portion of this year, so after a while, you just construct the house to suit that when that time come, you able then to rectify from that aspect. That way you find that some people will normally put on you get electrician then to put on a 2-panel, right? So you know that from you work the house from you do it from that stage. So you know, well, look, I could able to make back some money or whatever we can. That money then could able then to help to go and pay the bank as well, right? You just have to in turn to contact the white authorities then to do that affairs. But so you will basically call what you're doing the affairs, right? But you could invest. You know what I'm saying? You got like even the photovoltaic, right. The electrical component, you could actually invest in that. So now the thing about that you could actually pay like the power, then paying you, but you actually selling back electricity to the grid. Right.
Okay.
So these is things that you could basically do, right? And yes, for me, I don't there's some certain situations that you could do that with, but then there's some that it don't make sense. Because if you have a big house or whatever, yes, you can basically do it. But if you got a small house, you calculate how much the panel is gonna cost, and then calculate by the time you have to change them, how much it will cost you then, I guess look at the two and see if it works for you. So all these is things that you could that you could basically turn money in a different direction. Right.
Anything you wanted to add, Richard?
No, I see the panel. He thought the panels is okay, but as you said, the size of the house with the panel. For my house, we take 15. You know, and it's an investment that I already put aside money to invest in. You see, because, and as you said, these things that you could do, as you said, you're building a house, we got like land, you know, you got like on a little slope. Some people forget the slope, but if you, like, I look at these things here, my house built on a slope. My garage turned into an apartment. I had automatic on the house drawer. That turned into an apartment. So that's the apartment I have on my house. So that's something that when you build a house, you can look at the land structure, how it is. If you got a slope in land, you build a flat house, you could use the bottom to say, well, you can build a 2-bedroom apartment or a double apartment. You could live at top, right at the bottom. That the money down bottom, help you pay for your mortgage or whatever you're looking to do.
So
it's a threat, a catch-22 there. You know, just don't get something to waste. Because I Jeff went with me and I showed Jeff how we turn my garage into apartment. Because I still using my garage, I put apartment.
So it's about using the land, not only thinking about the construction, but actually seeing how you can actually maximize on
space to have, space
and doing it step by step. So actually just doing the full house, maybe say, you know, we can do this. We can not exactly squeeze any family, but you know, we can make this work. Then as money, we finish our mortgage and everything, then we say, you know, Tommy has gotten bigger. Tommy can live downstairs, or maybe they've gone over to study and now you know all that extra money that you would have gotten in for the years of not having to build your 6-bedroom house. You can now build your apartment downstairs.
But another thing, you know, everybody know, everybody know, or if my family got 6 children, you know, each body want 1 bedroom. So you see what coming on here now? No. It's different years ago, you know.
Yeah, to share.
Mommy, I want my 1 bedroom. I want my brother my bedroom with me. So that aspect now. Oh Lord, I got for you 1 room. All right. So don't, and that your cost your house going up. Years ago, no, you get a 1 bedroom, you got a bunk bed. 2 people in 1 room, everybody wants 1 room. So the cost of the house got to go up. It's all about planning. I just spoke about early on. It's all about planning. If you don't plan, you can end up going, your cost, your cost element for yourself can go up.
Yeah.
When I first started work, I tell my grandmother, boy, when I reach 25, I want my own house. Look at you serious? I said, yeah. And it went, I planned from early. Because I had a scene, you know, a tradesman who got a good house. I said, boy, that happened to me at all. And I see tradesmen fall by the way, crack, fall down to the crack, that same way. I said, no, boy, that happened to me. Yeah. And I fight for it.
So as we're on this topic now again about the tradesmen, another one relating even to the house as well, and it will come in, you know, to basically the finishes, etc. You know, does the contract, because we would have spoken about earlier about, you know, the lawyer, the bank, and so on, and even as to the final product, when we've gotten the contract, we say, you know, yes, we're going ahead with this. This is what our sign deal is, and the contract will usually include all the costs, as Jefferson would have even alluded to earlier about, you know, the quantity surveyor as well as the contractor's amount should really line up somewhat along the same line so that, you know, you can get that mortgage to go forward. And even as it include the costs necessary, what it usually, include all the costs necessary to complete the house, such as the finishes, which is like the cupboards, tiles, the exterior paint, the overages, all the little nitty gritties that will make the house look like a home, basically.
Well, it depends on your mortgage status. Like first thing, some people build out of pocket. A person, somebody go ask for more money, I can let us say do up to that do. And then from there, you go to the bank. Some people go to the bank early. Some people say, no, I can build till I get a certain amount. And then some people just build, say, to ring beam, rough structure. Then they will come and say, all right, I can get the windows, doors, tiles, cupboards. And that then go to the bank now for that set of money. Which in other words, no, they may borrow much money now. They may borrow just to do the, as you say, the finishing, which is shower plastic, tiles, cupboard, got to do the ceiling, everything, just them basic things there. And then I said, go now and get 100% mortgage for everything. So that I say when I'm done, I don't want a headache. I just can pay about the bank and done.
So really and truthfully, when you're going for that mortgage, you gotta know which type of mortgage you're actually getting, whether or not you're getting 100%, or if you're just getting a partial. So you know you come into just the finishes or certain finishes. You were saying something, Jefferson?
Pardon me?
You were saying something?
I was just agreeing with Richard, right? But if you're gonna get a 100% mortgage from the bank, right? The contractor will normally give you, the contractor quote will normally comprise of from your preliminaries, right? Then from your preliminaries to you to the drainage and the external works, right? But in that there, you having basically preliminaries, substructure, superstructure, right? And these is phases, right? Then you have a cost for the roof, the finishes, and then you will have the drainage and external the exterior works. But just the when you go to the bank, what will happen? They will give you something called a bridging loan, right? So the loan that they give you, that will break down the way how the contractor give you, jot down the different phases with the money, that how the bank will actually give you the money, right? Because I find out they stopped giving you money because what happened, a lot of clients normally need to take the money and get going to buy cars and all kind of thing with the money, and when the bank come, they can't see nothing, right? So that even made the contractor look bad and everything. So the bank then start to cut down on that. So when they give you the money in that stage, what will happen then? They will send someone
QS.
Right? They will send out the QS now to see that the money that they give you fit the work
Qualify for
that
the
is
more
there,
work. Mhm.
right? And then you go from there again, right? So the bank don't just give money so the more, because a lot of people know suggest when you see this body got a new car, you know, a new pair of shoes, new clothes, the eating at the biggest restaurant and forgetting that they got a mortgage to deal with at the end of the day.
You forget something that's not, Jeff. And they go on Miami too shopping,
Yeah,
but
that was
not
the
for the
biggest
house.
thing.
But not for the
Yeah.
house though.
So
Is it
basically what we're
that-
seeing now is that the banks are doing their own checks and balances, and they're
Correct.
sending their professionals to
Yeah, they're
make
sending
sure
them
that
to
what
us
you
to do that.
say you're
Correct.
getting this loan for, they're getting their money's worth, because
Yeah.
and a lot, I guess, persons are not realizing what the bank give you money for, they can take it back.
Yeah.
A lot of persons are forgetting that.
Hmm. Because
So other questions.
okay, go ahead. Okay, too.
So other question. Pardon me.
I was saying just now that, as Jeff was saying, what the banks do now, right? In my years of construction, I ain't doing a lot of bank clients, but I know about it, yeah. It worked from foundation to floor, from floor to ring beam,
Mhm.
then from ring beam to roof, then windows, doors. That's a close the house. Because first thing to do, the one house close up first, and then from there, so you getting money, you getting money that stairs, foundation to floor, from floor to ring beam, and then roof, windows, and doors. So around all the aspect they're going to change. So every bank to it, from the contractor do it, it can cost you $80,000 from foundation to floor. I just draw an average. That we get you $80,000. Then from there now gonna be another 80. So ring beam, that's how you getting your money disbursed to you. They ain't giving an extra. So if you do anything in this or no, if you want anything else, they have the client, you're gonna pull your pocket.
You gotta pull your pocket.
Because the bank ain't giving that no more.
All right, so a question that came, and I know that we dealt with it earlier, so I'm just going to repeat the question. Say the question, repeat the answer for the person. So the person was asking, how good are concrete roofs? And as Jefferson had said, you know, the roofs, the issue is not the type of roof here. The issue is whether or not you get a good tradesman. So don't just hire anybody and everybody. Don't look for the cheapest person, but look for somebody who's skilled, somebody who's willing to do a great job for you, so that the finished product is actually going to be long lasting, because you don't want a roof that you realize is a crack. Because if you have a crack in the foundation, or if you have a roof, the building is gone. So it's good that you make sure you do some research, you find your good tradesmen, your good professionals, and do some research. We have two good contractors here online with us, both Jefferson Ward and Richard Wood. And you can ask them, and they'll be able to point in the correct directions as to who they would refer if it's just the roof you need, if it's that you need to figure out which type of roof. If you want a concrete roof, they'll be very willing to help you. And to move on to the next question.
Hold on a minute before we go to the other question. The person there about the concrete roof, everybody got an existing house to put the concrete roof on. First thing, you just can't put the concrete roof on that structure. You got to find out if the foundation is strong,
can handle it,
to handle the weight.
All right.
Because you know, some people say, oh, I got a stairs from my house. You bought the house from somebody 10 years ago. You put it the roof, and that's called, man, it's the house cracking. But the weight cannot support it. I put it, can't stand up. Basically, that is. And where you stay now, where you live in now, I find people using a lot of concrete roof down here. A lot. And even like gable roof out of concrete. Yeah. And I was thinking, ask Jefferson, I was telling Jefferson, boy, next time I come back up home, boy, I can change my roof and put on concrete roof.
Another question I have for you before we go there is, as we would have spoken about, even with the pain and so on. However, as the contractors, is there a body that would regulate, the activities of the builders, the contractors, and maybe all of the persons that y'all would usually hire within y'all realm or y'all scheme of work? Is there a specific body that regulates how you work? Because I realize that, the bank make sure they come, they visit.
Yeah.
They're and from the architectural point of view, I know that some architects and draftsmen actually visit their sites, but is there a body that would make sure that, wherever these men are working, that they can say, well, yes, they're qualified, or they're skilled in this area, are they registered and so on? Is there a particular body for that?
They have a body that was created by the government, right? It called the Barbados Building Standards Authority, right? Truthfully, I don't ever hear much about them right now, because I think in Barbados, I find that people are just going to get somebody, find a contractor or find a mason or whatever, I just build. But so that I don't even know if it's just a name, because sometimes you find that just a name. But but along that line though, I think that you are the client, even if you get an engineer to even come on the site, if you could afford, yes, because that's a different cost, right? That's a different cost altogether. But it'd be helpful, son, if you get an engineer to come and look over and see what's being done, right? Even like we was talking about the concrete roof just now. Let me just backtrack to that again, right? Which I was saying from the foundation, right? The engineer was able to know, well, look, this is what you need to do, or come and see, well, look, the contractor know what we're doing. He putting in this type of steel. He doing it at this the stirrups at this certain at the inch of the part and what's not, right?
Mm-hmm.
That so you have quality. You basically have quality, right? But I find that what's happened, some clients are don't take that into consideration, because say yes, I trust this body to do the job. Yes, for me, and I can speak for myself, right? I make sure that I give you the quality that you need, because at the end of the day, my name gonna speak, right? The buck gonna start with me at any day. If I give you a bad job today, remember John Brown and Miss Jones that building down the road, nobody ain't recommending me for them jobs, right? And that's you got to set a standard for yourself, right? You got to set a standard for yourself even as a contractor, even as a form up on a job, right? There's standards that you should set for yourself.
Okay.
Yes, I want.
Question.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead. I don't want to check there. What Jefferson was speaking about this just now. You were speaking about the body. I know the engineers. I know I have a body with the Engineers Association.
Yeah.
You got one with quantities of various too.
But I can't remember the one actually with contractors. Yeah, but I know I had a body, one or two guys used to get together. But I don't know if it still happened. But as Jefferson was saying just now, and Jefferson is calling me sometimes, Rich, so. I said, Jefferson, don't cut the short corners.
Don't cut short corners.
I find we got some contractors and clients. I am blaming the contractors, some of the contractors, yeah, but we got some clients that the contractors working for. The contractor, we gotta do so and so. No, but Ms. Brown, when they do so, want the contractors cut short corners. By any day, when the contractors cut the short corner, you're gonna tell people, oh, my Jefferson built my house property. When you want Jefferson cut short corners to ease off some of the money you get to go and gallivant with the money. It's happened.
Let me
It's happened.
interject. Right. Let me interject there again, Rich. Right. For me, right, and a lot of different contractors that I know, we does it. Right. If you come with if you bought with a situation where hey, you're wrapping your brain around, you call another contractor or call 2 or 3, ask them a question. You go able to, you see how you got church body, you know, you able to bounce off ideas and what's not on others or on another contractor. So you get that, so you client getting quality for the money, you know.
Okay.
So you go even do checks and balances and stuff for yourself, and you know you just contracting. A contractor is a very serious job,
The final product.
right? You the final, but come on, every contractor that take up a job should done make any money to know, look, I giving this client the best job that I could ever do, the best job that I could ever do. Again, I put in my life on the line for this job. If you know what you're gonna put your life on the line for people money doing the job, don't take it. Don't take it.
Okay,
You
true.
understand? Because then you put in people to look at your family, and the worst thing that you could ever do is call a man a thief. Right? And nobody don't want a boy calling a thief. I being real. Right?
All right, gonna cut you short now,
Yeah.
Jefferson. And another follow-up on that question is like, as I would have asked, you know, about and to make it brief, the question, I guess in the answer would be brief, the steps that, you know, if the standard is not appropriate, as you're saying, you know, really, truthfully, the person should make it in their mind that if they're offering a service, it should be the best of their ability. However, what steps should the person take, meaning the client, if the standard of work is not appropriate, is not up to standard?
Okay. What the client should do in that scenario? Get an engineer to come and look at the job and make sure that everything what you saying that is not at the standard. He was pinpoint and say, well, look, this is not at the standard or whatever the case may be, and get a lawyer.
Okay.
Point blank. Get a lawyer.
Get an engineer. All right. So basically, when it comes there, then we gotta go to a higher level altogether. Right. Another question is, are there any repercussions for builders or contractors who defraud people? So you're not along the same line. Let us say the same engineer and the lawyer realize that, you know, the contractor is wrong. Even as what Richard would be saying earlier, you know, for that family home that you're planning on building or whatever the case is, the contractor succumb to the person's wishes and he cut his corners or she cut her corners. What repercussions are there? What mode of punishment or what happens to the contractor? Well, or at least on the client's behalf, what can happen?
I think I put it in one word: jail time.
Okay.
You know, because the thing about it is when you get a lawyer, it got to go through court process, right? The court then decide what basically happened.
Okay.
Right.
So we know that once the lawyer involved, we don't know everything going downhill and a lot and can hold up. So not only the client really at a bad point, but the contractor know that they need hot seat now. But depending on the
But let me interject there, right? You have clients that will come to a contractor and tell you, well, look, man, don't put in that amount of steel or don't do this or don't do that there. Even though the contractor is saying, look, this is going to butt you in the long run, right? They want you to cut corners because they want to save money. Although that you give a quote already for what the job is going to cost, right? They will want you to even cut further. Between at the end of the day now, when you start to cut corners, you know that you don't get 100% no more. You might be getting 90%. You might be getting 80%. Anything that it comes to 80%, me, you're cutting corners. And for me, as a contractor, when they start seeing you moving that road, the best thing for you to do is to put it in writing. Put it in writing, because when Miss Brown come over at your house and start to see the house cracking, you're gonna say that I tell Jefferson to don't put in the amount of steel, or he put in too much cement in the concrete.
It's true.
You know, so
I was gonna blame somebody else.
Put it in writing, because I see it happen already. Right, I see that happen already, and then it makes people go to shame. Right, if you know you want to build a house, a dream house, listen, you only build one house and build it. Some people only build one house. Build it to the best.
It's true.
Always do it right the first time. When you do it right the first time, you don't have to worry about the second.
A question directly to you. Do builders in Barbados require a license to construct houses? So with the draftsmen, architects, and so on, you know, you need a license with certain engineers and even with quantity surveyors as well. You can go through your boards, or you can even go to boards and so on, government. But do y'all require, as contractors and even the other team members that would make up that same body that the contractor will hire, do you require a license to construct houses or homes?
No, you register as a construction. You register as a company.
So you just register. So you just register your company, but not exactly that you're a contractor.
That's what I can't remember that. Can't remember if they got that body. I know years ago I had a body like that. So I can't remember if they still have that body. Okay. Something that alluded me to just with Jefferson talking about the thing on construction site. Where you know we got to name a site diary. Every engineer come and he wants any change, you gotta put it in the site diary and sign it. So
it's a good thing to actually have a log, that log book to make sure that you're keeping your own tabs as well.
Because as the same job they're working with down here, the architect is come something, oh, Richard, we gotta do this here. I said, boss, and against, but go in the office, put it in writing. Because any day when the client come now, Richard, will we agree with this here? I said, well, so change it. So then he and the client know will battle. I know it was because he signed for it. So as I say, you got to sign things, yeah.
Yeah.
Another question before we even go back on to, as we go back into money again, some questions came in regarding money and choices and so on. Quickly and briefly, what is both of your method of approach if you do the work and the person does not pay you for your work? How do you handle that? Or maybe what is your method to make sure that you get your money beforehand, or whatever is your setup? How do you get that done so that you know you are never left moneyless, but yet the person is left with a house?
It's majority contractors by Barbados. I can vouch for this. The majority contractors is get left behind. The finished house and the still owed money.
But how can you stop that? What is it that you would do?
Well,
like, Jefferson, what would you do for your business to make sure that you don't get that?
What I would normally do a contract.
Okay.
Right. If I can build a house from scratch, I would normally sign a contract with the client. Right. That contract is basically showing, telling you, they give all the repercussions, even along with payment plan and everything. Right. So if it is that a situation like that occur, I have something, or you have something to show, well, this is what we basically stand on. Right? You take the contract, carry a lawyer, and you basically go from there. Right?
And why think?
Right. So if it is that you settle it outside of court, with that is cool. Right? Or when I go court now, that may even cost the contract or the client more money now. So it's better to, try to get things as swift as possible. All right.
What I believe that Richard was, talking about, as person's construct, would you pause mid construction because money did not come in? So would you pause up to where you had money?
Yeah,
Yes, a lot of people doing it now.
because if it is that the job you charge $50,000 to go from the foundation to the floor slab, and the more money you come, you can't buy the blocks. You can't buy the blocks to actually start the other phase, right? So that's basically in a nutshell.
Okay.
A lot of contractors and barbers doing that now, because some people do it say, well, I can do X amount of because when the people come, you don't pay them the money, job stop.
Yeah, you gotta stop.
Years ago, a guy you build a house now, and you bring a contractor, and you tell him you short him money, you will take his own money and pull you out, try to help you with your house. Nobody doing that now.
Nobody doing
People
no at all.
too dishonest on that part.
So lack of trust, basically, because they realize how dishonest some persons are, even though they might have the one or two who are being honest and a little later, but because of dishonesty generally.
So Peter paying for Paul and Paul paying for everybody, right? Right? Yeah. And to be honest with you too, right? Even as a contractor, because somebody allow you to quote on their job, it don't mean that necessarily you need to basically take the job, even though that you can do it. Because so if you go to a client and you hear a client first thing and say, oh, but I got a job here and I want you to quote for it, but I ain't got the money. But that's a red flag, because no, here is no, you building a monstrosity or even a little match, but yet you still telling me, hey, Mr. Ward, I ain't got no money, but this is what I want. This is my dream home. The contractor have you materials to buy and he have a staff to pay. At the end of the day, when you done get your house bill, right? The mason supposed to go home when the week come and pay light bill, he water bill, and able to buy food. If a man hungry, he can't do no work, he can't go in the supermarket, he can't do these things, so he's still important. And I think you got to take that into consideration. So at the end of the day now, it got to be fair, right? But for some people, it just, I want what I want, but I ain't care what you want. At the end of the day, if I can get you for free, I can get you for free, right? So just know that construction is not cheap. Blocks gone up, cement gone up now. One thing you have cement, where we used to buy pay cement $30-some a bag, right? The cement dropped the other day, but no, the rivals now, you able to buy no cement, no one even more expensive than one, and the one that was cheaper now become more expensive than the other one, right? And then now, even with the normal boxing what I found play, you could have basically buy one of them for about $some or so. Now you gotta look and spend $109, sometimes $125 for one sheet.
Play with?
Yeah, play with $125
for
one sheet. So you understand how serious it gets. So when it is know that, so now ain't there no a man that caught you a job before that happened, he gonna come out now, he got no choice to stay for that to suck that cost, or so he can't even do that. You gotta go to the homeowner gonna go back to the bank and say, well, look, this is the material that gone up. I will look at extra more money or whatever that I could basically get the house done. Right?
Okay.
If you normally buy 10 sheets of plywood, the cast who are maybe go buy 5 and do half. You gotta do piece now with all there, right? So all that there now is cost actually escalated because when you go pay a labor man 2 days work to do 1 day work now, so you understand because the material cost now actually gone
Along
up
with the labor.
for rock alone. So everything is actually going to feel it.
So the process.
Right? The process is still the process, right? But I mean,
Understand.
yeah, so you got some contractor that will say, well, look, I got some other material or whatever who wants to plywood or whatever, you know, at the store, stock up or whatever, come to help out the client or whatever that aspect, you know, to actually aid out the client that so now everything can be run smooth. But truthfully, everybody can do it.
It's true. And Jefferson, even as you know, as you would have said and repeated, you know, like basically, you know, even though they missed that, you know, they would stop the construction. However, you will still got the 1 or 2 contractors who will still, you know, like have mercy on the person. You know, any person thought that the money gone up after they get the code. But
it's true.
They're gonna try to help out the person.
It's true.
Even with that in mind, like in today's modern society, what type of a house, or I should say, yeah, what type of house would you say that person can get for $250,000?
Okay.
Generally.
It depends on where body wanted this thing now.
But if you were supposed to include the basic, so we know a kitchen, living space, or either a living room or a family room, at least 1 bedroom, and so maybe you know you could then go from there because you know the basic rooms the persons would need, and a bathroom, at least 1 bathroom. How much would the person get for $250,000?
You could get.
So we at least got any basic, and we could do any extras.
Yeah, you could get a house, a basic standard house for that for that money, right? Just knowing, just knowing that
24 by 42.
Yeah, anything like that, right?
24 feet by 42 feet.
Yeah, that's a reputable I mean a good standard size house.
Would this be single story or double?
Flat.
The flat house, single flat house,
single story.
Yeah. You could get 2 bathrooms in there.
Comfortable.
So how much bedrooms would you
3?
Maybe that might hold
3.
3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, a family room, or the living room.
But it depends. It depends now that within that square footage, what size the person want the bedrooms now. Right.
Well, for that money, what would you say the smallest bedrooms is usually?
You could be a city,
nearly 11 or bigger.
You could be a city get between 10 and 11 feet.
Bedrooms be good.
Yeah, you should get.
Okay, so a nice size bedroom, which is 12 feet by 12 feet, a very nice size, and that would include the closet and everything in there.
That'd be one that used to be first. Because you're using 2 bathrooms, you use that one as a bedroom. You 12 by 12.
Oh, okay. So technically, you have a bathroom for not only the other 2 bedrooms, but also for visitors, but also you have the master bedroom. The master bedroom inclusive, which entails a bathroom.
Right. And you could break down the room space then. A bedroom could be 10 by 10. 10 by 10. The smallest could be a 10 by 10. Building cupboards could fit in there comfortable. Yeah.
All right.
Thing.
Because you still got the 2 bathrooms, you got a 6 feet width, and that is 2 that's actually 12 feet there already. So then you need the bedrooms now. The bedrooms 10.
Start going off of my mark, Jeff. That's saying my head.
It actually ties in and proves that the contractor definitely needs to understand plans, even as the client would need to understand that if you have a big bedroom, you can get certain the follow-ups follow-ups to the same question. Would this house that you're talking about, would this be wall or would this be wood?
Wall. You can get on the wall.
Wall house.
Yeah,
I
well,
can
That
get on the wall with that.
250,000. A nice size
nice,
house,
yeah.
and you're getting a good set amount of room. You know, it can definitely be the basic family home, even if you have the amount of rooms. Remember, we're looking at the fact that they can go on in life.
I think basically you might get some money left back too. If you know what you're doing.
Okay. Because the last follow on that same question was, what if the person really qualified for 160,000? So I'm assuming, you know, the person was willing to pull 60,000 for themselves, but they really qualified for the 190,000. I'm assuming that that's what you mean. They could already pay that money for that size house, but they have the extra $60,000 still to themselves, and this that one of which is the master bedroom, including the other bathroom, kitchen, family room, and anything that they will want to. They don't have the extra that they can do things with.
I got a gallery on it too.
Okay, gallery. For some other persons that may not understand, gallery, you open front, however you would term it. Space on the outside.
That is a stand. Listen, that is for me. That size that I give you, oh my hey, I know that was a standard, just call them middle income house. So, right? Cause I did enough of them houses there. Then I had another one, 24 by, 24 by 24 by 30, I think. Yeah, I might recollect. And that was 2-bedroom.
Standard sizes, okay. Another question, we're dealing with the interior finishes as we would have spoken about earlier, from Sharice Burkett, and you know she's asking which ones are best, ceramic tiles or the porcelain tiles?
Porcelain always be better.
Porcelain is always better.
Yeah, porcelain is always better, right?
But more expensive.
But it costs the porcelain.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
But even for like on the thing of tiles, right? Right now, any kitchens and stuff, you know, everybody may not be able to buy spend money on decorum or quartz or your marble and so. And they have tiles now 2 feet by 4 feet, right? That you can actually use
at the countertop.
Right at the countertop, right? And look very nice as well. So people that normally are building now could even take that into consideration, right? And even when you catch your hand on wall when you want to change it out or anything like that, there you could do that. But they look very nice, right? And they have the same type of patterns like what you would get the different patterns that you get
in granite
and stuff. So you go point try like any house could be built and deck out. You just know that certain things you may in terms of price that you may want to do at a certain price. You know you can't manage that. They always got something that under that you could basically do.
For that one.
Right.
Okay. One last question, as I'm not seeing any more at the moment, is even for we would have done this in the design aspect, but as I'm sitting in front of two contractors, let me just ask you quickly, like if you're actually buying a house, so the house already doesn't exist. This is not going to become, you've been renting as a family, you've been renting, so now you've decided, we have saved enough money, we can actually buy a home. We can actually say, this is our home. So it might not be your dream home. You might not even say, well, I have any preferences. I just want someplace I can live with my family, whether or not you have children or not, or if it's the extended family. What should that person look for in the house that they're buying? What is good that the person do that they should look for? In addition, who should they take to observe that building structure or home?
If you're going to buy a house, you should get an engineer to go with you and also a contractor. right? Because the house may have cracks. If you've been holding it and the house got cracks, you need to know if it's a good investment or not. Because you may see a crack coming from the when you being right down. You know you got foundation issues, right? So everything that start within that region, right? So the contractor know we're able to go and show you well if the house is basically plaster good or even the block work. You know, yes, you can't see the steel component in it because you have to go out blocks and you go on a roof or whatever. But as long as you see any cracks, you know that you having on the land issues, right? And truthfully, you need to take somebody that can tell you the truth. Because you will got a contractor that gets going to tell you, man, let buy the house because yes, they want the work. When if we work, everybody holding get the work. But
in the repairs.
Yeah, so you could do the repairs. But you want somebody that can be brutally honest with you at the end of the day, because when you go into that contract or whatever, or the bank or whatever to buy this house, even if it's your own money that you take and buy it, you know at the end of the day, you want to be doing the right thing at the first time.
You know, man, not quite in the address, let me know. Quite old school. And like they said, I come up here in my grandmother and people tell me and it's work out. You see, the teacher tell about the house, you find out who built the house.
That too.
Oh, okay.
You
Yeah,
find out who built the house.
Who built the house too and true.
And find out anybody in the area, see where the house is building.
Yes,
that's
right.
That's the man buying land.
Yeah, I gotta do that a couple of times.
You go and buy land, people go and buy land. I find people go and buy land. I say land pretty. And when they got a big foundation, they got about 20 feet deep.
You find a bus body inside the foundation.
I could tell some place that foundation really deep. About Letitia and them.
Yes.
Deep.
Yeah.
Yes, we were one of those. We had flat on the other side, and we ended up with the deep part. Well, the person that's on my other side, when they actually started the dig, they actually ended up having to sell the land because they realized they were not willing to do the investment. However, even as you would have said that you would have done to rent out for you, we actually utilize our area wisely, which we have our future plans for. So the main part that we have gotten the mortgage for, we finished.
Okay.
But it's the second part, we say we will then take that on, and it might even become, she has 3 children. That's where the children go when they move on, and she has enough space and comfortable space upstairs.
Sure, yeah.
So be wise in your actions.
Yeah, but Richard, even you were saying about the soil, right? Right now, what I normally do now, right? Williams got the drilling machine, right? That has come and drill the holes, right? Not only the soil test, but them is come and drill the holes. No one put down how you got the pile holes. So them is come and dig out the contractor will mark out the spot, and then they come now and dig the holes to their fine rock.
But we're speaking about Jeffrey. Yeah, you understand. It's a test hole. You're buying land. As people go and buy land in the district. They don't know nothing about the district.
Yes, but I understand.
And then when you go buy the land now, you end up in other words, though, you got a house within a house.
But this is if you buy the land already.
Foundation.
But this is if you buy the land already. That we're speaking of.
All right. So another question came in. So Pastor Joe is saying on HGTV, there are people who build a block house in 100 days. Is that possible in our country? No, they said not selling one house or anything, but actually a block house. So like how you have those, if they trash a house and build it back by a certain time and have the person.
I want to know.
can we build a house in
That's
100 days?
basically 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
that's basically 3 months.
No. Boss man, I gotta find out first. Pastor Joel asking me finished or just at a certain stage? You can't come in
It will be for
so.
everybody.
You understand me? You just can't come in so.
But no, yes. Yeah, I actually did it already.
Windows and doors and everything?
Vended our doors and everything.
Down payment and everything?
Was it a
Yes.
small
Yeah.
residence?
Yeah. I built a single two single bedroom apartments. Right?
That's a house.
In 8 weeks.
Pastor Joel said house, yeah?
But the house at the end
It still
a
qualifies
house,
as a house.
qualify as a house.
You know what size Pastor Joel said? So first of all, to 80 by 80. Huh? Come
But I
again.
definitely a no.
So to clarify, Jefferson, to clarify, was this from foundation all the way, all the
way
finishes,
from foundation, the roof, the
interior, the
finishes,
closets,
the handover,
all the plumbing, all the pipes, every single thing.
Single thing.
And as you said, this was actually a single bedroom, so you know it wasn't a big house.
Two single
A
bedroom.
small residence.
Two
bedroom.
That was 24. I think that was 24 by 42.
So 24 by 42 house, but two bedrooms, one kitchen, one living room. Would it have been that a lot of walls were inside, or it was actually an open floor plan?
You are basically that was the open floor plan. The only thing that was then a separation wall down through the middle to separate the two residents.
You build a shell.
Right, and the bathroom and the bedroom.
All right. So
I can give one, you know. Jefferson, I built my house from foundation to rim beam in 7 days.
Okay.
All right. To clarify, you know, we would have been discussing the $250,000 where you would have, the person would have qualified already $190,000. So, you know, she's asking, you know, would that same 3-bedroom house that you would have seen earlier with the 2 bathrooms, would that have been able to build within those 3 months, basically?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, please.
All with the finishes, etc. That's once there's no interruption. That's before any interruption.
No interruption or no
curing
changes.
Of the curing of the floor and everything in there as well.
No interruptions. Everything goes smooth. It can be done.
Yeah.
And once you have all your, and really truthfully, it really depends on your man. Once everything is perfect,
and material,
all conditions are perfect.
And material, because
material.
Right.
So the finances, making sure your finances coming in as well as the availability of material. Would you, in that case, let me ask a question. Would you suggest that any client to have all of their material up front, or should they buy them in stages as they come? And I'm asking that because, you know, we had the issue earlier where, you know, sometimes you might have said you got your money in the bank, but then as you're going along, you realize certain things gone up. So would you suggest to the person you get all of your materials and so on up front? Or should you buy them in your phases?
What I normally do, get a container on the site, put the material, buy the materials as I need them, put them in the container and store them. They're not all, right? Because the thing about it that if you're gonna buy $20,000 in material and put them in a container, next time you come the next day and don't find the material gonna happen. So they call me waste. Right? So
$30,000 out. That's all.
Yeah, $30,000 out. Right? So you buy if you did it with foundation, you buy your steel. Of course, you ain't gonna put blocks in a container, but you buy. It depends on how you make cement. The workers they normally will actually use the blocks to do the blocks as fast thing. You try to buy the blocks to soak. That's so you don't have much material like that there lying around, because you still got people out there. So don't care how much paint you buy and put around blocks. they're going, you can't go and say, well, there's my paint and these is my blocks. It don't work so because everybody's paint blocks now. So you have to be wise and actually buy your materials.
So with the 100 days in mind for this same house, another query would be, would that be a good time frame that a person can look forward to for that size house? Really, the 100 days basically, would that be a good time frame? That's with if you're saying this is a good time to actually start the construction, because we have to be realistic. We're in a hurricane belt and so on. So
Correct.
you got rain, you got the hurricane.
If you got rain,
no changes.
But listen. The same apartment that I built in 8 weeks, not even 100 days, right? That's basically about 60, 62 days or so, right? But if it is that you have, because you don't have no power over rain, nothing like that, right? You ain't got no power every country get shut down again or for the corona or whatever. So you always die. But the only thing that will basically set you back is if you got a lot of rain and stuff and things like that. But other than that, once you plan accordingly, it is not something that cannot be done.
Hold a minute now. Interject here. Foundation, the same very house now.
With the foundation, everything.
So put foundation deep now.
Yeah. There's what
no interruptions, as he said. Was there no interruptions? Everything goes as planned. Everything goes according to the plans as well. The draftsman's plans.
Everything good.
It can happen. It works.
But I understand what he's saying, because even as you would have just now said, even with COVID times, we some construction would have started out here, and we had our shutdowns. So then we realized there was somebody who just happened to get a spot that we did not even know was going to build on, and the roof is on. So within this last period, this person actually started their foundation and the roof was finished, the windows and doors are in, and I'm out there like, as you would have said, you got the money, and once everything goes as planned, because when that person started building, they did not have an issue with rain. So by the time the rain came, most of the things were done. So it's like as you just said, timing is good. Once your finances are there and everything, you're good to go. And as we wrap up, are there any myths or anything that you want to dispel regarding the construction industry, or how clients would view you briefly? View contractors and so on briefly.
The myth that I want to expel, especially for mostly ladies, right? Because ladies will go up on HGTV, they will go and pull out all these sites and everything, and they want to put everything inside of this house. It can't work. Right? Can't work. No, they want the bathroom doing a particular way, the closets and everything. But when you look at all these things to do with measurements and some materials you may not even get here.
True.
Right? Some materials may not even get here. So you gotta take all that into perspective that, well, I want this and this is what you're gonna have. Yes, you can have it, but at what cost or whatever, or do you gotta wait now to bring it in? You understand? So they don't work because the measurements then that they have out there can't even fit in your bathroom. Right? So all these is things that you gotta basically sit down and think about, right? Yeah. So from that perspective, yeah.
Glad you mentioned ladies. The thing not talking, not with you two. I see a lady send me a drawing to look at. When they first see the drawing, she did how she looked at the building Barbados. And look at the design this house. And every two houses is a catalog house. She get the drawings off a catalog. So what happened now? They want to modify it. And that case, there are going to be problems. Because what you want the house look exact, like what you see for anything, eh? Because it can't work here. So I find a lot of people going to take drawings off the catalog, can't get dropped this way you want. No. Come off here, come out the head way you want. Yeah?
And the people
just the catalogs.
Yes, please.
Go ahead.
Right. So your last comments as we get ready to close now? Yes.
Yeah, my last myth about thing is that all contractors are not dishonest. There's some very good contractors out there that is willing and will go the extra mile for a client. Right? Contractors will run up and down by looking for the best prices and what's not for their clients. You understand? Sometimes when 10 and 11 o'clock, you got contractors sitting up on a table and basically going through what they're gonna plan today and what the best route of attack to do, the job where they get the best material and everything. So that's a myth that, you know, people say, man, he's a contractor, I want he, but most of the time, yes, you may go on mason that might not even understand the fine logistics that are going on into the same building that you are building, right? Because yeah, a mason can come and build blocks, right? He can come and build the blocks and whatnot and get his money. But you got to have somebody there that know the ins and outs of what to look for and what the client is looking for. Because the end of the day, the contractor is the eyes of the client to make sure that everything there that he see going right.
Thank you very much. And I want to thank both of you gentlemen for being our guest speakers this evening. I do believe we had a grand time and I learned some things, and I do believe that our audience as well learned some things. So I want to really say a big thank you, not only for myself, but really for the leadership of our church, for, you know, even coming and being this segment of So You Want to Buy or Build a House for the construction segment. So thank you very much. And I pray that, you know, God continue to bless your businesses and bless you all as well and your family. And even as just before we close and we dismiss in prayer, just want to get some notices to the church. Just want to encourage you, you know, to continue to connect, especially for this week, which is Family Week. You know, just connect for our services, and remember that on Wednesday night we will have an hour in the Word Bible study. And join us. You know, this is Family Week. You never know what special thing we're going to have, so just join in at our 6:00 p.m. time and be in for a surprise. On Thursday morning, 11:00 a.m., you can either come in person. Just remember that you have to register early, register before the actual Thursday service, or you can even listen in if you are unable to make it or you're just unable to get there, whether or not it's work or whatever the case. You can just watch or listen to us on our various platforms. However, that service will be done by our very own Sister Julie Holder. And on Friday, we have both Brother Michael Beckles and Sister Natalie Beckles, who will be taking charge of our prayer time at 6:00 in our Friday evening service. And as you can see, you know, these are families that are taking up the full load of our family week. In addition, not only will we have prayer meeting Friday night, but we will also have emergent youth on the upstairs in the upper room at 6:00 p.m. So you can also register. You can register in the office, register on Instagram as well. We will not only have it on face-to-face, but it will also be on Instagram as well. And a gentle reminder that, you know, this month of October is Breast Cancer Awareness as well as Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So, you know, just wear your pink to show that, you know, you're supporting those who battle or who are battling breast cancer. In addition, or you can wear your purple, so you can even mix it up. Wear your purple to, you know, give that message to society that, you know, you do not condone any form of domestic violence in our homes or our communities. So as a family, as a church, you know, as we build that community, as we even go to build our homes, we have to make sure that, you know, our society is acting right so that, you know, we can have those safe places that we can make sure we can live. So as we continue to have family, we can, our church, I just want to ask you to, you know, continue to be blessed use your gifts for the honor, for the glory of God, even as you continue to plan that family home, that residence that you know you will have for your own. You know, go with the grace of God, you know, ask for wisdom, ask for direction, seek out the best counsel that you would need. We had two wonderful gentlemen this evening, you know, who gave us some good insight, and you can feel free to even contact them. They attend People's Cathedral, Jefferson Ward, as well as Richard Wood. So let us just pray to dismiss. So Heavenly Father, we just thank you, we just praise you, we glorify your name. We thank you for this session, dear Lord. And even as we will continue on a family, we ask that, dear Lord, you will bless the families, not only those who tuned in, but dear Lord, all those around the world. Bless the families, especially in Barbados. Those who are going through things, dear Lord, those who are, dear Lord, at a good moment in their lives, dear Lord, those who are financially stable, those who are building. And I pray that, dear Lord, even as you would, dear Lord, go and direct their paths, I ask that, dear Lord, you will cause that, dear Lord, they will line up into the correct places and the zones that they need to be at this moment in their life. We give you praise, we give you thanks in the mighty name of Jesus. We say, Lord, have your way. Take them through this week and have a marvelous week in the mighty name of Jesus. We give you thanks, give you praise in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
A blessed good evening, church, and thank you very much for tuning in to our last session. So you want to build or buy a house, and tonight we had dealt with the construction process. So it was really great having you. Have a good night.